All right. Here we are, people. I'm waiting on my better half to come on board, but here I am. He just sent me a text said he'll be a little late, folks. Kind of overslept. He takes his, as you know, he takes his afternoon nappies. But here I am, coming online here, talking to you folks out there in our podcast land. Hope you guys will continue to look at the show and enjoy yourself because I know I do. Anyway, one of the topics for that day that I want to talk about was our democratic leadership, the values, and what they think about uh, possibly taking over the House in the midterm that's coming up. Uh, well, looks like it'll be up in about 11 months now. So, uh, President Trump's term is moving along absolutely slow. I mean, absolutely slow because he is just. ah, I have no idea about this guy and everything that he felt that he can destroy this country. But anyway, getting back to the Dems, are they going to be? I'm looking at that leadership. Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. Are they the leaders? And the question that I want to, and maybe your audience folks can comment on this about how they're going to govern. What's going to happen? Are they going to be, from what I'm seeing, a good leader manages and does a good job, whether it's good times or whether it's bad times. Now, we're in bad times. And from my viewpoint, I'm kind of skeptical about these guys' leadership. I really am. Because if you can't manage during bad times, how in the hell are you going to manage when there's good times coming along? Are you keeping your conference and stuff close? Are the people and stuff in your conference doing what they're supposed to be doing? And what do you plan to do? I have not heard anything from any one of those leaders and stuff about what they plan to do if they if they get power. What are you planning on doing? And will you be realistic with the American people? If you don't win the Senate, you're only going to have the House. So what are you going to do to uh, enact policies and stuff that is going to help the American people? What are you guys planning? I haven't heard anything. But you're afraid to say something. You're afraid that if you open your mouth and say something, that the Republicans will use that against you. So what? You have to have some idea as to what you're going to do, something that the people will feel comfortable in voting for you. Right now, hell, your poll numbers are just as low as the Republicans are. So when those voters walk into the phone booth, what are you going to give them to think about? Is their only thought going to be when they pull that lever and stuff? Well, he or she is the lesser of two evils. If that's what you are running on, and if that's what your plans and stuff are, then your chances and stuff for winning the house is not going to be very good. You're going to be sitting there hoping and praying that they will allow you to get into power, and you don't even have a plan, nothing at all that you have told the people. Your people don't have a plan other than, well, we're going to do better than Republicans. It's not a plan. It's not a plan. You have to give me something. If I'm a voter, I'm sitting up there. Yes, I'm gonna probably vote Democrat because I don't like the Republicans and what's going on. But all voters don't think alike. All voters don't go into that polling booth and think the same way. What am I gonna do? Hmm. I ask myself that question because the closer we get to when their midterms are going to happen, and it's coming along, the time is going by, people. And like I said, we only got 11 months to go, and there'll be a midterm election coming up in November of next year. Already December. Uh, Close to half the month just about gone. You haven't done anything to let me know or to give me confidence or anybody in this country confidence and stuff that you are capable of leading. So I don't know. I would rather run on something than run on nothing. Well, the Republicans are doing this bad. They're doing that bad. They're doing this bad. That's not good enough. That is not good enough for me as a voter and stuff when it comes up into the terms. Here he is up and going. Oh man, I'm sleeping guys.
You know it, bro.
He still got sleep in his eyes, people. You know,
What? You see sleeping eyes? You don't see no sleeping eyes. Them
Oh
people.
man, I've been on for a few minutes and stuff now. What I've been talking about is Democrats, brother. Man, I don't know about them. Their poll numbers are just as bad as Republicans. So I'm asking the folks out there, the audience, and stuff, to comment about what the heck they think. Leave us some comments, folks, about what you think about what the Democrats is, because I really don't want them to go to the polls and say, well, the Democrats are lesser than two evils.
Well,
It's a crapshoot.
you're
So
right.
run on something. I don't care what it is. I know that the Republicans can try to beat you over the head for what you're getting ready to say, but and you have to be honest with the people. If you're only going to win the House, ain't a whole hell of a lot you're going to be able to do. Not a whole hell of a lot. You can't enact policies. You can't do shit. So you're going to be sitting down there for 2 years and stuff. People are going to be looking at you. And in 2028, when the presidential election come along, and they're going to say, well, you haven't done shit either, so we're going to put the Republicans back in power.
Yeah, you're right. They got to run more on that, more than healthcare.
Yeah, you gotta run on something. If you know that you're only going to have one house, then Hakeem, get your butt out there and tell the folks, hey, we want to. This is the first step into getting government back under control, or whatever you got to do. And if we win, this is what we're going to be doing for 2 years. And if you're going to be investigating all this bad stuff going on, if you're going to, that's all you guys got to be doing, then tell the people that. Let them know. Say, we're going to be investigate these crooks. So give the Republicans, they can say, well, that's all they're going to do is be investigating all this. Well, they're not doing anything either. They can't run on a whole hell of a lot. They've been sitting here for 11 months and letting Trump run the show. They haven't done shit. They've been sitting there, and that's your defense against them. Because you can, if once they say something, well, that's all they're going to do is be investigating people. We're going to be doing something because this man is screwing up this country. We're going to investigate what the heck is going on and find out how we can get these daggone people out of these jobs and get somebody in there that's going to do something for the American people. So that's my thing. Anyway, comments from your folks and stuff and everything. If you all, whatever you guys think, let me know. Leave some comments out there so me and Ted can answer these questions and stuff for you. Let us know what the hell you guys are thinking, or are we way off base? Am I way off base? I don't know. So anyway, that was my topic, my first one. What you
I
got?
like it. I like it because I was listening to this. I forget the name of this show, and I don't like to mention that show if I don't watch them on a regular basis. But the one thing they did, and I was listening to Schumer,
Oh man, whew.
and I'm saying, this dude, man, he is just blowing smoke and ain't saying nothing. And this man has literally, and I'm not talking about sugar, but 47 has literally destroyed this country, all the agencies, and he don't bother to say what he wants to do to help the American people with these agencies, because some of these people are hurting. You got CDC mess all blown to hell. You got the Department of Education blown to hell, and on and on. EPA, all of that, and the FBI and the DOJ. There's a lot of things that Schumer could have done and should have done. He can hold up a lot of stuff, but he don't.
Mm-mm.
He's got power, but he don't use it. He's got a lot of power, and he don't use it. So,
There's a there's a lot of archaic rules and stuff in the Senate. Archaic rules. And he's been there long enough to know those rules and regulations. Man, I watched Mitch McConnell when the Democrats were in power. He didn't let that crap go by. He had all kinds of stuff that he pulled on those Democrats to not allow them to do hardly anything that they needed to do.
yep,
He pulled this up, he pulled that up. He had his folks to do this and do that, or whatever it was and stuff to create chaos and stuff there in the Senate. So you could disrupt business as usual. And he did it quietly. He did it with an iron fist and everything. But
yep,
Schumer, he hasn't got that iron fist. He doesn't have that iron fist at all to tell you that open his mouth and say, this is what we're going to do, and damn the rest of them to do it. He's supposed to be the major donor, the major person who goes out there and find monies for these candidates and stuff to run in office. If you the man that's holding the purse and these people are your folks are sitting out there doing what they want the hell to do, and they're not listening to you as the leader and stuff, then you control the purse, shut their money off. Do whatever you have to do and stuff and everything to make them people get in line and say, this is what we're going to do. And be strong about it. Because if you're not strong, when you're in a weak position, then how in the hell are you going to be strong when you are out there and your party is in power again? Because you can do the same thing you were doing before, letting bull crap go by, letting these Republicans still pull their little shenanigans and stuff and everything and do what you should have been doing when you were not in power. Man, I don't, I understand. This is, Ted, I am frustrated and stuff here because I don't have nothing to look forward to right now.
well, the only thing that I knew that he did was at the last breath he put in and got a whole lot of judges in office before Biden was out of office.
But he could have put in a lot more, Ted, because the Republicans put forth some kind of a fight and everything, some kind of a rule that they threw out there and everything that slowed them down from being able to approve these judges because he had something like 400 or 500 judges, but he only got 200 done. He didn't get everybody in there because the Republican put a roadblock up. I forgot what Mitch McConnell did, but he pulled something off and they couldn't get all those people and stuff confirmed at once. And you see what the heck happened the last time with these Republicans and stuff. Yeah, they found out that the Democrats were dragging their feet about these judges or whatever. So John Thune, who is the majority leader, said, well, okay, y'all want to drag your feet? We're going to put all these people down there as a group, and we're going to vote them in as a damn group. And that's what they did. They got almost 60 or 70 judges and stuff approved in one damn vote.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was a mess there, and because they held it up, they were dragging their feet because they brought one of them at a time up in there. So let's figure that they were going to hold them up, and they got smart and said, "Hey, since you guys are going to do that, we're going to put them all up there at one time. That's it."
Well, part of that too is, I admire the speaker, or I should say, the leading speaker for the Democrats, how he uh, stood his ground. However, he's got to persuade Schumer like Pelosi did.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of kind of go along with it, and because he's not, I don't think he's really that up on everything because his thing is, he's a, I'm gonna put it like it is. He's a Jewish person, and so he's not really thinking about the bottom half of the American people. You know, he deals with a lot of big big money donors, but the point is that it's the lower half. You know, that's the reason why so many people are not for this guy because he don't really. I don't think he really can connect to people because he's been in the Senate for so many years and you know a big time politician, and he doesn't really he don't understand how things are working because you know what, Joe Biden had already set up a program to forgive these people's loans, you know, at a little bit at a time.
The student loans,
Trump,
yes.
Trump came in, boom,
Cut it
eliminated,
off. Took
cut
it
it
away
off.
from them. Took it away from all of them. They're going to
That,
go back and
that
start paying those loans back.
yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, and it's funny, Ted, how these knuckleheads do this stuff. Now, when we'll tell them the economy is all screwed up. The economy is all screwed up and it's messed up. And when you catch them and stuff saying, well, it's when they finally admit that the economy is bad, and the first thing they say, we inherited a bad economy from Biden. That's all they're saying. We inherited a bad economy and we're trying to straighten it out. And this is what we're doing. We're trying to get to a point where we're straightening this economy out, knowing damn well that they didn't inherit a bad economy. The economy was on the up. It was going. It was a hell of a lot better than it is right now. But
He
that's what they,
eliminated the what was that Reconstruction bill. He eliminated that,
yeah. And
and
they'll
that
tell a
took a
lie in a
whole
minute.
lot of legislation to do that, and he just boom cut it off.
They'll tell a lie in a minute. Well, back then it was the inflation rate was 7 to 8%. Now it's down to 2.5. And knowing damn well it wasn't that way.
Yep. And they don't even defend it.
Yeah, they just
They
sit
don't
there,
defend
and
Joe
when you get
Biden.
to the point where blame Biden, Biden did it, and we trying to get us out of a hole that Biden put us in, and nobody goes back and fact check them and say, hey, no, it's not. When the economy that you got from them, this is what was going on. That was going on. It was a growing economy. They knew we had something bad going on. The prices were a little bit high, but they're not as high as they are right now.
I see some of the Democrats on the representative side. You know, they have broken down the economy and the way it was with Joe Biden better than Schumer.
Yep. Or Hakeem.
Absolutely, our king got an issue, man. I don't think he likes to use diagrams and explanations of exactly what Joe Biden did. You know, I mean, he's I don't know, man. I think he might be gone, bro.
Hey,
He he might be done. You know, he wants to be the Speaker of the House, but you know, you got to get something done. And right now, he's not getting anything. He got the House now. They all on his side. He put them together. They stick to his votes, and he persuades them. But you know, you got to get stuff done, man. There's got to be some fight there. And right now, I don't know what the Democrats, like you said, the Democrats have gotten just as low rating as the Republicans.
mm-hmm. Just as
And
bad.
there's a reason for that because number one, they, what you know, to me, they sit up here and they want to have one or two or three spokespersons, and that's it. All of them should be out there. Every one of them should be out there. They should be on podcasts. They should be on ABC, all the networks. They should, all of them should have, and they talk about what they know. I was thinking about this guy who is the ranking member of Homeland Security, and I hadn't seen that guy in months. And now all of a sudden he all talking and carrying on, and you know because they interviewed Nome or whatever her name is, the lady that's head of Homeland Security, and now he all of a sudden he want to talk. Well, where you been, bro? Where you been? I mean, you should have been copping on her months ago when she started treating these people like the way they've been treating them. Where you been? This is what I don't understand.
They are
He's a
afraid, Ted.
ranking member.
They're
He was the
afraid to
chairman
open their
of
mouth.
Homeland Security.
They are afraid to open their mouths and say something. They are afraid to open their mouth. And
Well,
I'm
they all
gonna,
getting death threats here.
yeah, well, I'm gonna pop something in here. I've been looking around, and there are more and more and more of these podcasters and stuff are doing something that we have started doing. Talk about JC and her running for the Senate.
Yep.
And man, I told you and stuff then the other day. I said, Ted, her biggest problem is going to come from her own damn people, the Democrats. And they are still sitting out there putting her down. Well, she shouldn't be running because she opens her mouth too damn much. Or she shouldn't be running because she's a black woman. Or she's not going to win because she's doing this. Well, all those statements and stuff that they are making, it has no validity at all because they have tried everything. They had uh, I forget this old boy's name and stuff. He's a real nice guy and everything, and he's always doing something to the Texas. He done ran for governor. He done ran for. He used to be a House of Representative, but now he's not. He done ran for the Senate at least 2 or 3 times. He done ran for the
I know
governorship.
what you're talking about. I can't think of his
Yeah,
name either.
and he has never won a race there in the state of Texas. And the guy is likable, but people didn't want to vote for him. So this guy's nice. He's doing exactly what these Democrats are saying that Jasmine should be doing, but he hasn't won. But they want to get on her, and I'm looking at this Allred, Colin Allred. He's a nice guy. He's a military guy. He got all the credentials. He's just a clean cut guy. He ran against Cruz, and Cruz was probably one of the worst senators that Texas could have ever had. He don't care about nothing. This man being nice still lost the election. So why are you jumping on her? They should be on the bandwagon, backing this lady up and everything, and say, "Hey, we're going to do what you asked us to do. Get people out there to vote who have not voted before. Do some things and stuff that hadn't been done before, and let her be a loudmouth if she wants to be. Because if you talk to the people who the Democrats, they're polling these folks who talk about the Democrats, and to the person, even to the Republicans, independents, or whatever, they always say we want somebody who's gonna fight for us. The Democrats are not fighting for the American people, and the American people see it. You want somebody who's gonna fight for him. This woman is out here fighting, Ted. She's out there doing the best thing she can to fight for him. And I'm gonna back her up and do everything I can and talk about these summer guns and stuff and everything who be talking about her. So
You
and
know, while you was talking, I was thinking, where are all the Democratic strongholds, NGOs, nonprofit government organizations? If you ask me, they need to put together a workshop, or not necessarily a workshop, some kind of conference, sponsored by this person, sponsored by this organization, sponsored by, maybe get 4 or 5 major uh, NGOs to have all the Democrats on there. You know, I mean, even, I guess it would be kind of wrong because they're not supposed to be political. I don't know what some of them can be political, but the point is, you see all of these people, and they need to get the top Democrats on there and talk. Just like Turning Point. Turning Point have every year, or even twice. I think they Turning Point has been on TV when Charlie Kirk was alive, and he would have all kind of Democratic people coming on there talking. I mean, Republican people talking all the time. But here we are, here they are. They sitting around and they don't do nothing. The only time you might see them, they do a little 5-minute interview on MSNBC, and that's it. I'm putting it out there right now. These organizations or organizations need to sponsor these people and get your top 5 people at a time. Every other week, you should be on C-SPAN and help people asking questions, and you make a 5 to 7 minute speech of the vision that you see this country going into, and then have some questions. You ain't got to be sitting there talking for no hour and a half. Just talk 5 to 7 minutes and then sit down. Then let the next person talk 5 or 7 minutes and sit down. And then have people ask you questions and people's concerns. And if you're controversial enough and got the right stuff, then you'll get TV time, network time. Because they're looking for news. The Democrats got such a big tent. You know, you got the gays, the trans people. You got the far left. You got all of these people that's under your tent. But then, you know, you got to get the people that's under you, because these people, what they do is they vote. Some of them vote, most of them vote Democratic, but some of them vote for other candidates, especially in the national, the presidents. You got to get these people out there and talk to the people. And if you don't want to do it in a campaign type deal, do it in some kind of conference. And it's got to be on the regular. It's got to be on the regular, because the people are not seeing them, man. They're not seeing them. They're not seeing the Democrat. The only person that we see out there that's doing anything is 2 people. The boy from California, the guy from California, the Indian guy. He represents San Francisco, and then Jasmine Crockett.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 2. The rest of them you don't hardly even see.
Yep.
So I don't get it, man. They're just sitting here and picking a paycheck up, and yeah, a lot of them are still they doing work, and they work what they're supposed to do, but they're not getting out there convincing the people, the 90 million people that didn't vote. Forget about the Republicans and try to get there. They're gonna vote. Hey, the data show, the polling show that
Mm-hmm.
75% of the people still like what Trump is doing. So therefore, and we know for a fact that a lot of people don't like what he's doing. I'm talking about these so-called middle of the road people. The ones that are not committed to no party. So I don't get it, bro. To me, it's very frustrating, because we know that the right person, the president, most of the presidents have the right idea. Joe Biden had the right idea. President Obama had the right idea. And they was trying to do things the right way and do things. But you got all of this big old tent, and people don't like. They want you to go all the way left. No, you don't go all the way left. You have to compromise, and then you also have to make sure that you get the things that you want done, what the people want done. And the people want good education. They want good jobs, good paying jobs. They want to make sure that they got protection wherever they live, and that they're not going to get harassed or whatever in their community by the police or by these, lack of a better word, thugs.
Well, some of the things did that you probably are probably just glancing over and everything is having these talks and stuff and everything. And what stance are the Democrats going to take? What stance are they going to take with immigration? You got to take a stance. You can't say that, well, ICE is out there hurting other people, they're arresting these people, they're deporting them out of the country. Nobody in the Democratic Party has taken a stance on immigration. And I know it's a it's almost like Social Security. Right now is almost a third rail because people any stance you take, somebody gonna beat you over the head for you for immigration and you want these bad guys to stay in this country. Well, open your mouth and take a stance because all the immigrants in this country here aren't criminals. They're not criminals. These people are taking people out of here who are good citizens and stuff in this country, and most and 90% of them are not criminals. So somebody's going to have to take a stance in the Democratic Party and say and open their mouth and say what's good about immigration and what's bad about it, and take a stance on it. If you don't take a stance and stuff on it and everything, then somebody's going to paint you in a corner. Okay, I'm for comprehensive immigration policies. And Trump can sit there and call these people shithole folks, trash people, and all of that. And guess what? He's still okay with it. He's still okay. And you haven't heard anyone really come out and say, what the hell is wrong with this man? What the hell is wrong with him? All you saw was a group of people and stuff when he opened his mouth and said what he said, and they clapped after he finished. That was the most horriblest thing I ever saw in my life. And it wasn't just his cabinet people. There were people up there who were the media folks who clapped too. He calling a whole generation of people named shithole country. I want all these pure white people to come over here. He didn't say pure white. He just said Norwegians. And you know what's
Sweet.
going on there. Most of the people up there are the same folks that Hitler talked about. The Aryan race, the all white folks, the blonde and blue eyed people. That's all we want in this country. That's racism. And nobody is out there speaking about that. Open your mouth and say something. If this man is wrong, open your mouth and say something. Get you a bully pulpit and get out there and say what you got to say. And take your lumps and bumps about it because you know what Trump's going to do. Oh yeah, they want these criminals to stay in this country. And you can sit down there and at least open your mouth and say, well, that's not true. This immigration is a bad thing, Ted, but there are some good things about immigration. There are. There are people who've been here for 25 and 30 years and they are being taken out of this country, put on planes, and taken to countries that they don't even have anybody there that they know. We just finding out, Ted, that they're taking some of these planes and stuff full of these people to these southeastern countries and dropping them off over there in Thailand and the Philippines. And these people are Hispanics. They don't know anybody over there.
That's kidnapping.
That's kidnapping. That is kidnapping. But nobody opened their mouth and saying anything. Just got this one person, Abrego Garcia. He already been abused like all get out, taken down there to the prisons, uh, been sexualized and stuff down in the prisons down there, and beat the crap out of him. And they finally released him and stuff and everything yesterday. The judge said, leave him alone and release him. Just as one person. Because he had a good attorney who fought the hell to keep him from being thrown out of this daggone country. But everybody out there don't have that opportunity. A lot of those folks don't have it. Some of these people are crying because they have no idea where their loved ones are at or their children. It's horrible.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. It has been my experience through my lifetime, and I'm talking about Black Americans who ancestors were enslaved. They don't have that kind of vindictive spirit of cruelty. Um, Karen Hunter, who is one of my sheroes, talked about a novelist who recently passed away a few years ago, said that in her lifetime, she saw white women turning over buses and lighting it on fire with black children in it. She said that she went to the lowest low women. I'm going to get me a bunch of women and see if I can get a bunch of women and we're going to do the same thing to these white children. She couldn't get one person to do that. Not because they were scared, but because they couldn't see themselves killing children like were killing black children. That's the difference between Black America. And like I said, I've always believed this. I don't believe black people, from where we came from and the way we were raised and where our parents and grandparents taught us, we don't have that in our spirit to be that mean and cruel. Now, it might be other people that's black and they from other places of the world and they just cold hearted and blood and don't care. And they run around and they shooting up and killing people because they want to have the American dream of selling drugs and taking over territory and what have you. But we don't have that spirit here. Because if we did, we'd be shooting people all the time, killing people. We don't have that spirit. We weren't raised like that. We haven't. I mean, I'm serious, bro. I mean, I've known a whole lot of really bad people who, they got, their little problems and what have you. But I'm telling you, man, I don't know nobody like that just go out and flat out and just, uh-uh. We don't have that in our spirit. So I don't know, you know, you know, and I'm gonna switch gears here, but I'm gonna just say this. Here's the problem right now with um, not with black people, but when we used to come up, we used to have what we call a dirty dozen,
Mm-hmm.
and Red Fox he used to do records, tons of records about talking about people's mama, cousins, uncles, talking about you and signifying. And what it was a signifying. And if you knew
Mm-hmm.
how to signify, then you just come right back at them. And that's what all it leaded to. It, now if a person don't know how to signify, they're gonna get mad and want to start a fight. But really, Red Fox he signified his whole life. I don't never remember him having a fight about it. But the point is, he was a comedian. But the point is, there was a thing in Chicago. Everybody signified. Your mama so fat, blah 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 blah. We'd be running around saying all that kind of stuff, and coming up with the joke. But it wasn't no fight involved because if you can signify, you signify back, and if you can't, you just sit there and take it and just, you know, like your mama say, Sticking stones may hit your bones, but names will never hurt you. So if you didn't know how to signify, now that was me. I was never a good signifier. And so people used to signify on me, and I just roll it off my back. It hurt my feelings because I know who I am. So I don't know, I think that I mean, I am very extremely proud of black people because we have decided that we wanted to be liberated and educated instead of violence. And that's our MO. Liberated and nonviolent. That's what we decided to live. Because if you look at it, man, you look at all these countries all over the country, all over the world. They fighting each other, bro. Even within their own country, they fighting each other. They're just fighting each other and killing each other. But here we are right here in America, right now. And everything is political and people trying to get their little political chops by sucking up to 47. The more I suck up to him, the more, I might get a break. I get a break. And as soon as you make a misstep, he coming for you. That's been proven over and over and over again. You have to do the right thing. When you do the right thing all the time, then the right thing is going to come on top. But you got these people constantly sucking up to them, and then, and I think you said it the other day, they're going to jail. You let the Democrats get back in power, they're going to jail. Steve Bannon, Miller, the lady that's in charge of Homeland Security. All of these people are going to jail. DOJ, all the stuff that they then broke the law. They're going to jail. And they know it. So it's just a matter of time right now. So they can just keep on doing what they're doing, and they're gonna and then let the people, because the people are waking up, Ed. I'm telling you, man, they waking up, man. We see it right now how the Democratic Party is winning races. But we got to get back to the Constitution and the rule of law. And they're allowing this man to do whatever he want to do without them standing up to him. So these Republicans are just, and I hear it on YouTube, on C-SPAN all the time, man. You got Republicans calling in saying that this man is a disgrace and what he's doing. So I don't know what the deal is. I really don't. You know the big news. What the big news is now? You know what the big news is? They got
What is it?
95,000 photos. Woo, man! They say some of this stuff is so raunchy, man, that they can't even release some of those photos. This stuff is crazy, man. These pedophiles, man. This stuff is for real. This is a real ring, bro. And the DOJ sitting up here acting like it ain't nothing going on. That's why I say, man, they all going to jail, bro.
I was looking to it here. I've changed the subject here a little bit. I was looking at this thing with this Michigan coach that got fired. Oh man, Ron Moore. I guess this woman he had some relationships with. They didn't say if it was sexual or not, but he had a relationship with some woman in the staff of the Michigan football team, and he's been having this for several years. So I guess the woman decided to cut off her relationship with him, and he got mad. And she went and told the university about it and everything, and they fired him because of that. So the man's married and got a wife. I don't know if have you got a family or anything like that, but I did see read about that he does have a wife. But he went over to this woman's house that he was having a relationship with and threatened to kill himself, according to her.
Hmm.
So all he did was just finish putting the nail in his coffin as far as his being fired because he may have had some kind of defense against him doing something. They may have been able to pay him some of his uh, his salary and stuff and everything down the road by hiring him an attorney or law firm or whatever to do something. But this right here and stuff just put a nail in his coffin. So they'll probably he doesn't even have a good fight in his life now with the university. So I don't know what he's going to do. And he just screwed himself up from being a coach at any other school. This man just ruined his life because of some woman.
Hmm.
And when the police got him, they said they took him to the hospital, the psychiatric unit and stuff and everything before they arrested him and put him in jail. According to her, he threatened to kill himself with a butter knife. Oh man, and you know the guy he didn't have a bad record there at the University of Michigan and stuff and everything. He could have just if he had kept his damn mouth shut, he probably might in a year or so have another job someplace else in the National Football League or some other school and everything, and admit that he made a mistake and everything, and kept his head and went head on. But I don't know, man. It was he just cooked his goose. I thought maybe that they had done this stuff and everything uh, through some malicious way of firing the guy and everything because they didn't like what he was doing as the football coach. But man, I don't know. So he's probably lost his family and lost everything he got and everything, and I don't know. It's just horrible. You know, we don't have but very many chances out there to be uh, coaches and stuff in big league football, especially college. And all this did was just put a black
Well,
mark.
we're talking major league.
Yep,
This is major league. Michigan has been a top 10 school for
yep,
many, many years.
yep. Big time football, big
Big
time
time
NCAA.
football. And
And he had a 93 record this year, man. Yeah, they didn't have the record. He had a winning record.
the, the,
Yes,
the
he could
thing
have.
is that these weak, and I ain't gonna call him black because I don't know what he is. He might be, something else. He might, his skin color is black, but I don't know what he is. Where he came from. I don't know his background. I don't know his family or whatever. But not only that, you disgraced. If he's black, he's disgraced. Number one, his family. Number two, his own race.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if there's a mental problem, if he has a mental problem, that's a different story. Because, this woman, your little young 24-year-old, and you said she's been dealing with him for 2 years, you know, uh, she might have treated him exactly the way he wanted to be treated that he's never had. He might have felt so much love. We don't know what kind of background he came from. And, I'm sure it's out there or will come out, you know. But the point is that for some reason, whatever, it wasn't because, I'm sure it wasn't because of her beauty or her looks or whatever, but it was something that she provided for him that he needed in a woman. And she gave it to him, and maybe he was to whatever it was, and she decided to break it off. That was his side piece. He's married with 3 children. It's not like, the other woman, that he's married to is white too, Caucasian. So a lot of times, if you allow yourself, you find someone that really is to your liking and exactly what you want. He should have been brave enough or bold enough to say, I want a divorce. I want to marry this woman.
And evidently, she didn't want to marry her, but something because she went to university and told on him.
And then that's when he has to be a man enough to say, hey, I got to move on. Now, he done messed up not only his children's life, I mean, he done messed up his life, his children's life, his wife who had his children. And my understanding and what the report is that he was only making a little more than $500,000. Everything else was bonus stuff. So he was supposed to get a bonus of 1 point something, and then eventually it'd be up to $6 million, which is really chump change for what they're paying these doggone.
Big time chump change,
Yeah,
especially for a Michigan coach.
yeah,
He
for a
should he
Michigan
should
coach.
have
So
been
he
in
was
at
making,
least he should have been at least the $6-7 million range.
and that right there is chump change because they're paying these coaches now 10, 12, 13, $15 million a year.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So and then you're talking about every time, every game is packed, 100,000 people.
Yeah, 105. They call it the big house. They
So
call it the big house, and they got boosters coming out of the woodwork. People who are paying millions of dollars and stuff just to into their boosters and stuff and everything. That program in Michigan makes a lot of money, Ted. Huge amounts of money.
and then you sit there and you say it, Ed, we don't get those many opportunities.
We don't.
And
And now, speaking of that, Ted, what happened with your boy Todd?
Todd who?
Todd Bowles.
As far as I'm concerned, they should fire him. They should have fired him last year.
You know what happened at the news conference, don't you?
No.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
Mm-mm.
They played the Falcons Thursday night, and they blew a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They had a news conference, and he cussed, they said, through the whole news conference. Fuck this, fuck that, fuck this shit, fuck all that shit. We can't do this fucking game. He said it was laced with the F word.
Well, that's the first time I even heard him have any
He
emotion.
said it. They asked him what did he tell his team after blowing a 14-point lead and having 19 fucking penalties in the game.
And
and
that's
he
his
said,
defense.
and he told him exactly what he said. He said, I said, fuck y'all. This is some fucking bullshit here. We have been a better fucking team than this.
Lost 6 in a row.
He said it in news conference, so you know the team's gonna probably they're gonna probably put some put some kind of restriction on him or something and everything for doing that. And the National Football League, I know they're going to say something about it. Conduct unbecoming a coach. They wrote it, everything he said, man, they wrote it into this column. I couldn't believe I said, oh man, I know Todd didn't say all this. Now, you can get pissed off and just say, well, I told him the F word and all that other stuff, but they said he said it right there in news conference. So you get a chance, I'm pretty sure it's out there on YouTube somewhere.
I turned that game off, man. I can tell that they was gonna lose, and they was winning when they was.
They said they blew a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter.
You can tell the players wasn't feeling them, bro. And I only watched the first half. Didn't even watch all of the second quarter. You can tell. I can tell their spirit. You can tell something was wrong. You can tell that something is wrong with that team because they, and I don't know what it is, but something is wrong because they're not championship caliber. There's no question about that. But they are better than the 8-7 or whatever they are. Because he they've lost what 5-6 games straight, and their defense is not tight. It ain't the offense; it's the defense.
Yeah. Well,
And he's in charge of the defense.
Well, Baker Mayfield, before they had the news conference and stuff with him, he came out and said he took responsibility and everything for what happened in that fourth quarter. He came out and said, I take responsibility for their loss, for that 14-point loss. And now you're saying that it was the defense's fault. So,
Yeah,
hey.
it's the defense. It's the defense, bro. I mean, they just. I mean, how you going? Every time they get a kickoff, and the guy that catches the ball on the punt return gets 40, 50 yards. They get good. They get in good field position. You go up to I think once or twice, even in the first half, they was like at one time they was at one line, and they went for it, 1 yard from the touchdown. I don't know who that. I think the offensive player, the offensive coach, called the throw pass, and then that didn't work, and then they tried to run it up the middle, and they still didn't make it. They did that several times and didn't do it. So it's also the offensive coordinator. So I don't know. All
Well,
I know is he should have been gone last year because we knew that he wasn't going to do nothing in the playoffs. I don't think he has enough enthusiasm. He doesn't have enough fire in his bones. He just laid back. Good coach. I mean, but I think that they need something more than what he's given these players. These players want fire in their coaches. They want to hear some hollering and screaming. This dude, he don't hardly raise his voice.
well, according to what he said in that news conference he did,
Well,
oh man.
he probably was talking the same tone I'm talking and just saying F this, F that, and that's all he was doing. But the point is that I'm talking about on the sidelines. I'm watching him on the sidelines, and he is just not fired, bro. I don't know if maybe he don't have a relationship with these players. I don't know what's going on. But we already knew that the Bucks weren't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens and stuff because he got a few days and stuff before because they played Thursday, so they won't have to play again until what next Sunday. So he got a long time off. We'll see. We'll see if the owners and stuff decide that they want to relieve him of his position and put an assistant in there. So that's another black coach.
Well, he should be gone. I mean, he's a good coach, but somehow, he doesn't have that fire. He's just a nice, calm cool, collective person. I listened to a few of his, you know how they have the coach's corner and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to him talk, man, you know, and he answers the questions that the person interviewing him about each game and all that. But he's, you know, he doesn't impress me as far as his enthusiasm, his desire to win, win, win.
Final word.
Well, we was talking about earlier, you know, of signifying, and the reason why I brought that up, and if you notice that there's, you know, what these people do is on those people that want clicks and giggles, they'll talk about each other. They don't talk about white folk. They talk about each other, most of them, and they get on their case, you know, and you know they'll say, you know, Parnell said this, or 50 Cent is doing this, or Stephen A is doing this, and they, you know, they all they do is talk about each other. You know, it's a form of signifying, but in a way of getting clicks and giggles. They still making money because they're getting 50,000, 250,000, 300,000 listeners listening to their little gossip, clicks and giggles. I have nothing to say about none of these people, to talk about them and about their situation, because a lot of it is just BS. A lot of it is just BS. My main concern, really, to be honest with you, is what you was talking about: immigration, healthcare, education, business development. That's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about our community. They don't talk about that, but they got a whole lot to say about these famous people. You know, they make a living talking about LeBron James. They make a living talking about this person or that person. Clicks and giggles, and more power to them. And that's what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, you know, I'm concerned about our community and what's happening to our people and stuff that's going on that people are not reporting on, that they have an opportunity to report on. Where's the investigation of this center from the LA Lakers? Well, all of a sudden is dead, out there fishing by himself. Did he really have a medical problem? When his own sister said he didn't have no medical problem? And I can go on. All kind of basketball players, football players, different rappers getting snuffed out.
Huh.
Something's going on, bro. Something's going on. We done had at least a half a dozen, at least 3 or 4 that I know of, hangings. But we just ignoring shit. We're just ignoring shit. That's all we're doing. We're just ignoring it. We're not dealing with what's going on in our community and what's happening, how we protecting our community. There's some vicious people out there, bro.
Uh-huh.
That's what I got to say.
Okay, people. Well, you done heard it from Mr. Harvey. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.